Chris Broussard joining me, co-host of The Odd Couple with Rob Parker, former New York Times guy. So, series going to end tonight, Chris? You think it is?
Look, I picked the Warriors in 6, and I'm sticking with it. No, I guess now I have to go. I don't want to change picks. I hate to change picks, so I guess I'll say Warriors in 7. But look, obviously every bone in your body tells you Toronto closes them out tonight. But I covered that series when they were down 3-1 to Oklahoma City, and I thought it was over. And, of course, they came back and won. Same thing. I had the same exact feeling when LeBron was down 3-1 in 2016. That, of course, once Draymond was suspended for Game 5, I remember feeling like this changes everything. Even though it's just one game, he's not the best player on the team, I felt like that little thing gave them enough hope to think they could win it.
Yeah.
And it did, obviously.
Does Kevin Durant give them that hope?
I was going to say, that's the thing. I don't think he's going to play. Now, that's not based on talking to anybody or anything. Of course, there were the reports that whatever he did yesterday was very little, right? He shows up after the media's leaving, takes part in their practice, whatever they did. It was a short practice, naturally, and he's the first one headed to the bus. So now it's possible he went back at night and worked out with some reserves or whatever. I haven't heard that, but I just don't see how a mini practice or whatever he did, it doesn't seem like, at least from what's reported, that he did enough to know if he can play or not. So I'd be surprised if he does play.
I was telling Joy this a couple minutes ago, it does feel like culturally, if Toronto wins and Kawhi took 22 load management games off and we have a finals litany of players who are all injured, it does kind of say to me that stars look around this and say, okay, LeBron went to all these finals, his body finally gave out. Kevin Durant played 78 games this year. Clay played 78, 79 games. And they're all hurt. And Kawhi took games off, and he's great because I've seen Harden look like he's exhausted. Chris Paul get hurt.
Steph Curry looked exhausted.
Is there? And I think if I was a player, let me defend the players on this. If I was a star player in this league, I'd wake up this morning saying, "Hey, next year I'm just taking 16 games off."
It's a copycat league.
Of
We've
course.
seen it. I mean, San Antonio started this by playing guys 30, 31 minutes. They're stars. Sitting them every blue moon, maybe 5 games a season or whatever. And now it's blossomed into what we see now. I agree. I think a LeBron, the key is you have to make sure your team can still make the playoffs and play well without you. And Toronto was 17-5 without Kawhi. But I agree. I mean, Steph has looked a bit worn down in most of their playoff series. Even though he's put up good numbers and played well, he does look a bit worn out. And look, this is not recent. I mean, the Detroit Bad Boys' first championship in 1989, Magic Johnson played 75 minutes in the entire series. Byron Scott was out the entire series. In 1983, James Worthy, a rookie, was out the entire series. We can go on and on to how many years injuries have played a huge role. So, look, I'm a straight shooter. And I don't like it for the fans because teams sell ticket packages. Right. The Cleveland Cavaliers will sell, come get this 15-game package where you're going to see LeBron and the Lakers, Kawhi and the Raptors, Kevin Durant and the Warriors, and those guys might not be there. It's not bad for the home fans because, one, if I'm a home fan, I would want, if he's going to be better in the playoffs, I can stand him missing 15
I'm a home
games.
fan. I want to win. I don't give a rip who I see.
Right, and I'm seeing him. I'll see him 32 nights a year rather than 41 or whatever it may be. But for the visiting fans, this just goes to prove how, and they'll never do it, I know, unless the fans show some backlash, but I'd rather them cut the season to 65 games.
Listen, think about this. NFL ratings crush college football. NHL ratings crush college hockey. Baseball ratings crush college baseball. But why is it that March Madness actually can beat NBA playoff occasionally? It ain't talent. Because of urgency.
Right.
I've been arguing this for years. The first round should be 3 games. and you say to
now
yourself,
that's a little too much urgency.
Okay, you think it's crazy, though. But Duke has a bad half, their season's over.
But here's the thing
you
with
need to
that.
have 2 bad games as a favorite.
Here's the thing with that, though. The goal of the NBA playoffs is to determine who the best team is.
Right.
It's easy for somebody to be a better team to lose to a worse team in 3 games.
I don't think it is.
Look at the history of the NBA. They used to have 3-game first rounds. The year after Magic and Kareem won their first championship together, they went out in the first round because it was 3 games.
I would argue the object of the NBA is not to find the best team. It's to get the best TV ratings and the most money. These leagues are a television product.
It's a combination. I mean, obviously, money and the ratings and everything is a huge
part.
part.
Doesn't urgency create ratings?
Look, it would be exciting.
That's what I care about.
Look, you're telling me you didn't love the first 40 days of the playoffs where there was a game every night? I loved it.
You're telling me the goal of the NBA...
This is bittersweet because now I got to wait several nights for a game.
But Toronto's not the best team in the league, and they're going to win it. So is the best team winning?
Are you sure they're not the best?
They're not.
Okay, that's where the injuries, because I do agree if Kevin Durant and Clay and all these guys are healthy. But I would say rather than cut the playoffs, cut the regular season. That would create urgency. If you make a 60, 65-game season, every game would be important to making the playoffs.
Think about this. You have a 7-game first-round series. If almost no first-round series go 7, very few go 6. So if you just made it a 5-game series...
Not
many.
I mean, Boston, the year the Big Three in Boston won their first ring, they went 7 in the first 2 rounds. Philly, that was Philly and Toronto's second round. Last year, remember Boston, Milwaukee, 7 in the first round.
Okay, let's go this year. How many first-round series went 6 to 7 games? Because if the series was 5 games...
Clippers and the Warriors went 6.
But again, does it go 6 because the Warriors know they have all these games and don't care? My point is, you're not giving up lots of real estate. One series went 7, the others didn't. So if you just shrunk the first round to 5 games, it would give the fans a sense of, oh, God, you got to watch the games tonight.
Well, 5, I wouldn't go 3 because there's 2. It would be too easy for a superior team to be upset. I mean, Orlando won the first game against
Toronto won the next 2.
Yeah, but I would 5 maybe. It used to be 5. Just I think they changed in 03 or something like that.
I think with all these devices in our hands, I think the only thing that guarantees a TV rating is urgency because I'm constantly distracted. And if you force people, listen, college basketball, Zion Williamson is out of the tournament because his team has a bad half. And the ratings are fantastic. So people are telling you the quality of college basketball doesn't interest me. But the urgency, I watch the tournament and the players outside of Duke. Most of the players are like, they're not even going to sniff by the NBA. The quality of the NBA player compared to the quality of the college player, it's the Grand Canyon, but I watch college basketball because I have to.
But see, I think the playoffs, it's really 2 seasons in the NBA. The regular season, the playoffs is so long, it's like a second season.
Yes.
But I love it. I would rather them cut, which I know they won't because it's money. I would rather them cut the regular season, though, than the playoffs.
Well, I think everybody would.
But if they cut it to 5 would be workable.
How could let's sift to this. If you're KD and you had another injury, this is not his first.
Right.
As you get older, Chris, the goal for all of us is to work less but maintain the quality of what we're doing, right?
Right.
So if you're a columnist, instead of 4 columns a week, 2, but you only have to write on Monday and Thursday, so the quality's good. This is what Dwayne Wade figured out. Bring stars to Miami, I don't have to play 43 nights and score 28. Kevin Durant this morning, I'm going to go to New York? Like I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, Kevin, this injury would have been healed if you're 21. Kevin's becoming an older athlete.
Well, look, when Jerry West, who was integral in recruiting Kevin Durant to Golden State, that was a part of the pitch is that, look, you're getting older. You're not going to get better, okay? You're going to get older. Every year you're getting older. You need to make it easier on yourself. You can go to the Warriors and get your 28 points on 2/3 of the shots because they're going to be guarding Steph, they're going to be guarding Clay. Your shots will be easier, and you'll be able to play longer at a higher level. So that was a part of the sales pitch, what you're saying. Here's what Kevin Durant really needs to think about. why was I or am I considering leaving? If it is only because of the narrative, because I heard Walt Clyde Frazier talk about the asterisks. I've heard people say players think my championships are cheap. And then, I've heard people say you went to this great team, that the Warriors don't need you. If that is the only reason he's leaving change that, right. Legacy is, you can ignore that if you want, and God bless you if you do. But I understand if a person at his level, he's one of the greatest to ever play the game, if he really wants to dispel that narrative. So if that was the only reason you're leaving, here's the deal. The narrative is pretty much being dispelled right now.
That's right.
Some people are still going to hold it against him. Oh, you still went to a great team, blah, blah, blah. But that narrative of them not needing him.
They're getting crushed.
Right.
If they lose tonight, they got beaten 5 by Toronto, and I mean dominated.
Right. So it is gone. Now, if that was your only reason, then stay. Next year, everybody's going to be saying the Warriors need you.
Well, I'm saying it now.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Well, it's gone. That narrative is gone, and I'm with you.
If Toronto wins tonight, let's just put the Warriors better without KD. It's over.
Right.
There's the garbage bin. Wrap that thing up and throw it in the garbage bin. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.